Hello and welcome to the Burrow, where we dig deep into the latest and greatest movies and television. As always, I'm joined by AJ Mader and Caleb Platt. I'm your host, Nicholas Marrone, and today is a pretty special episode because it's sort of a follow-up of a previous episode. The first episode of the show, we talked about the trailer for Mandalorian Season 2.
Yes.
And now it's out, the first two episodes are out, and we are talking about the first two episodes of The Mandalorian. We have these lightsabers.
Boom.
I know there's only one lightsaber in The Mandalorian, but
Star Wars.
Star Wars, whatever, yeah, we're excited. So, the first episode, The Marshal, centered around Din Djarin going to this town and trying to find a separate Mandalorian. What did you think of the storyline of the first episode in general?
There was just a Kickstarter for the entire season.
For me,
Yeah.
when he
Big budget.
talked to, he was like, "Where can I find more Mandalorians?" And they said Tatooine. I was like, "Are you kidding me? We're going back to Tatooine." I have literally all Star Wars movies have some sort of Tatooine in there. I'm like,
Yeah.
please. We already went there in season 1. We don't have to go here this time. But I was pleasantly surprised because we actually saw some like new interesting stuff.
Mhm. Oh yeah, also spoiler alert. So Tatooine, it is sort of oversaturized in Star Wars. Like, it's in all the original trilogy movies. Not the new trilogy, but they have Jakku. It's fine, it's close enough.
It's basically
Yeah.
Actually, they do go Tatooine
They do?
at the end of the night.
Oh,
it is,
yeah, they do that. I
She
forgot about
carries the
that.
saber.
And then
Yeah.
prequels.
Prequels, Tatooine is in it. So yeah, I was
Twice.
I was a bit bummed when they went back to Tatooine again because it's just a desert planet. There's so many more cool places to go to. But I mean, obviously, with the idea of seeing a Mandalorian on Tatooine, the obvious idea pops up that it's Boba Fett, and they play with that idea throughout the entire episode.
Mhm.
And so when he meets this marshal,
We'll
that's
call him John.
John.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, so they meet the marshal, or the
John.
and he has Boba Fett's armor. What was your guys' reaction to that?
I knew it wasn't Boba Fett. I thought it was a girl.
Yeah.
He had a very like thinner, like more a different frame than you would think Boba Fett would have.
Yeah.
But I saw this thing on like Instagram or something, and they were like they purposely made it look like it didn't fit on him because he was basically placed in that position in the town to like save them. He didn't
Yeah.
choose to do it. He like was kind of forced to like watch over the town and save them. So he
But
The armor
also,
doesn't
the
completely fit
armor
him.
wasn't fitted on him because it wasn't fitted for him.
yes, but it's
Yeah.
symbolism.
I don't know if it's that much symbolism
symbolism.
he
I
bought
think,
from
I
Jaw
think it could be
Wars.
interpreted as symbolism, but it could be either way.
I feel like it was just like, yo, be cool. Boba Fett's armor on this random
Yeah.
dude just to throw
Well,
out
I mean,
there.
didn't he get the armor in like a book, like the Aftermath books or whatever? Like, it was a
Yeah.
thing that happened.
John is a pre-existing character.
Yeah.
Very
John.
interesting.
Yeah, my boy John. And so
So
it's
is Boba Fett, he didn't know.
yeah, apparently he's pre-existing. But yeah, so it's the Mandalorian and John going to fight. What is that sandworm called?
The crate.
The Crate Dragon. That is such a cool. It reminded me. It gave me a lot of Dune vibes. Some more callbacks to the first
Oh, yeah.
episode.
Jin and John.
Jin John.
Okay.
Jimmy John.
So they're going.
Jimmy John.
They're going to fight the Crate Dragon,
Yes.
and they have this whole like unification with the townsfolk and the Tusken Raiders.
Which for some reason, Jin's like a fluent expert in that. I mean, he was like,
Yeah. I can't say it, obviously. I Duolingo.
I don't know, but
speak
it was
the
impressive. I was like, dang, he really studied up. I don't know.
Tusken
man.
Raider language.
They're only on that planet, but he said that's the one I want to learn.
hmm
So,
But yeah, and like I think this was a thing in the first season a lot, but it's very surprising how much special effects go into each episode of a show.
you can tell that like after the first season did so bad, they're like, screw it, just take a 50 mil per episode.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of
'Cause-
money was poured into the
Because
Crate
usually TV shows aren't very heavily edited, don't have a lot of special
Man, have you
effects.
seen the DC shows?
Oh,
They're
yeah, like
all
on-
just like kind of whack.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, I haven't seen any of them really. I've seen a few episodes of The Flash, but yeah. So TV shows generally aren't as highly edited as movies, but The Mandalorian's sort of breaking that,
Yeah.
and it has tons of special effects, and I think it's cool. Hopefully they don't overdo it. Like the first two episodes, which we'll get to the second episode later, but like the Crate Dragon, it's cool, but I don't want to see that in every episode.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of the appeal I had for the first season is like into the normal parts of this outrageous world, and so it's like we see all the grandeur and stuff from the movies, and so the Mandalorian was a window to see like the everyday
Such as
gritty stuff.
Tusken Raider speak
Yeah.
and culture. That
The
was cool.
nitty gritty life of
Yeah.
the galaxy.
So the fight with the Crate Dragon, that was sick. That was
Yeah.
My
pretty
favorite
sick.
part was when they were both on a jetpacks and they started flying
Mhm.
around with them.
Yeah, that
That
was
was cool.
They just both took off and was like, oh.
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
that's interesting.
The sparkling water.
It was kind of like, for
Not
me,
sponsored?
when they took off with their jetpacks and they were about to go fight, that was like the season 1 moment when all the Mandalorians came together in that city and saved
Like,
Jimmy.
you could tell they were on like wires because they were really just like when they hit the
Yeah.
ground, they were like sliding.
Yeah.
But it was still cool.
Mm-hmm.
It looked very like old-fashioned Star Warsy too, because like that's how Boba Fett looks like when he was flying around in
I
the
know.
original
It
trilogy.
was
Uh-huh.
good.
Yeah.
I like that a lot. But I mean, yeah, that was like the first episode. It was basically just like we're gonna kill the Great Dragon, and that was the entire thing basically.
Yeah, it's cool, like episodic tales. Like it's like one way I saw it described. It's like the monster of the week. Like the first 2 episodes are like the monster of the week. So the first one's Great Dragon. The second one we'll get into when we get to the second episode.
I also think that the first one was just more like a catalyst.
Yeah.
Not like a catalyst for the rest of the season, just kind of like, okay, let's get everyone back into this.
Yeah, 'cause,
it's
like,
been a while.
The trailers didn't excite me, but when I watched episode 1, I got hyped up for season
Yeah,
2.
same. Because you can tell this when we get to the second episode, they like purposely like put more story linking things within that one. Like we have a area to move on to the next episode directly connecting each other.
Yeah. Another common theme of the first episode as well is they have a lot of callbacks and like cameos.
That's true.
So like the first one is obviously Boba Fett's armor when Marshall John's wearing it, and then
Pod Racer.
the second one, yeah, Anakin's pod racer is transformed into a speeder bike that Marshall John uses, and then the third one, R5, shows up at one point from A New Hope,
Oh yeah.
and then the big one at the end of the episode is Boba Fett in the flesh
Tomorrow.
with Tamura Morrison.
Yeah.
That got me hyped, and with seeing his name in the credits is what really got me hyped. Even though I knew it was him, but just to see his name
Yeah.
in a Star Wars project again, I was
Yeah.
like, that's pretty sick.
It's been a minute.
Pretty cool, yeah.
Because it's been a long time since the prequels, and he hasn't been involved in Star Wars since then. And surprisingly, a lot of people did not recognize him.
Yeah.
Like I think I already told you guys about it. But there was on Instagram, I saw someone saying like, "Oh, they should have chose a different actor to play Boba Fett in the episode," and everyone's like, "Are you joking? That's literally the guy who played all the
yeah,
clones."
that's literally the dude.
Yeah, and
That
so
was-
he looks very different, but he still is Tamura Morrison.
I mean,
Yeah.
he fits like what
Like, when you see him,
Boba
it's
Fett's
like-
age would be
Yeah.
theoretically.
Yeah.
Like 50 or something right now. Maybe 60.
Yeah.
Pretty old. Anyway.
What do you guys think is going to happen with Boba Fett? Because I've seen ways it goes both ways. Either A, he's going to be a minor player in the show, where he's like coming in for like 1 or 2 episodes.
I was under the impression that they were gonna use Boba Fett as a way to like introduce like the Jedi to the Mando, because Boba Fett obviously he was a clone during the Clone War. He wasn't a clone, but he was Jango's
Alive.
personal clone, so that but he didn't have the enhanced aging.
And
So
his
he-
dad was killed by Jedi.
Yeah. So and he was around. If you watch the Clone Wars show, he was around in those too. So he has a lot of experience. He knows the Jedi. He knows who Yoda is as well, which is Baby Yoda is also the same species, obviously.
Yeah.
So theoretically, I'd be like, oh, at some point they're gonna meet, whether it be good or bad, and he's gonna, pop in probably. That's what I thought though, because I was like, that would be really kind of cool.
Yeah.
Because then it'd be kind of like, because it's also because technically Boba Fett is a Mandalorian, I guess, not like pure blooded, but
Yeah,
He's
I guess
more
it's
of a
part of the
Mandalorian.
creed.
he's more Mandalorian than Jango was, because Jango just stole it, whereas Boba Fett really lived the lifestyle.
Yeah.
So I think that initially they're gonna introduce him as like a villain, but then
Yeah.
like they're gonna end on good terms, and then he's gonna go off
I
and get his
feel
own
like-
side story or something.
Yeah, I feel like he might like like when they get to the end of the season, I feel like Jin's gonna beat the
Moff
real
Moff
dude.
Gideon.
Yeah, and he's gonna
Yeah.
take the Darksaber, and therefore like all the Mandalorians will rally around him as like a standard bearer for the Mandalorians,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so they can reform their society that was
Yeah.
taken away from them by the Empire.
Yeah, that reminds me. Moff Gideon was like a huge deal in the final arcs of the first season, and the fact that he isn't even mentioned or showed up at all without the first 2 episodes sort of jarred me because
He
he's
was
supposed to be.
presumed dead though, cause he.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I forgot
chopped
about
off
that.
the TIE fighter
Yeah,
wing.
when he crashed his TIE fighter, he didn't probably thinks he's dead, but we know he's not. But
Yeah.
that's probably why it wasn't mentioned. But hopefully, past episode 2, he's more prevalent because I think he'll be a really cool villain.
Yeah.
But we need to see more of him first.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Okay, so that's like episode 1 wrapped up basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We killed Big Crate Dragon.
Any final things you want to say about episode 1 before we go to episode 2?
So much. We basically said it all. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a solid
Good
episode.
episode.
Yeah, the second episode I think slowed it down a bit from the first episode. It was still really good.
Yeah.
It's just like,
It was too similar to the Crate Dragon because
yeah.
the climax was where he fought this giant spider, and it's like, wow, I just saw him do that. But this one was a lamer fight, so
Yeah, because
Yeah.
this time it's centered around It's basically the same episode again, I thought, because like the first episode started with him wanting to find more Mandalorians. He's directed to Tatooine, and he fights a monster while he's trying to find it. Second episode, wants to find more Mandalorians. He's directed to this planet.
I think they're trying to extend this more because like I think if they just completely cut out one of these, it would have been way too fast to the point where they want to get to. Because this is 8 episodes, only 2 episodes in. They gotta really space it out.
Obviously, he's gonna have to face challenges. Like he's not gonna find the Mandalorian right away. But I feel like they could have just done the episode differently.
Yeah.
Where the climax was a little bit more diverse.
I just like that episode was just for like to link up to the episode 3, sort of a base of like what he's doing and why he's doing that, and then get to that next area where he was promised to find the Mandalorians after he dropped off the Frog Lady.
Yeah, but I mean, episode 2 has some really cool things that episode 1 didn't have. Like, I like the snowy landscapes. Everyone, like, in the trailers thought, oh, it's Hoth or it's Ilum. It's like, no, it's just another ice planet. Or it could have been, but we don't know. It's just unnamed ice planet.
Just ice planet.
Yeah, the spiders returning from, I didn't remember this, but from Rebels. I thought that was really cool. The New Republic showing up more. We had the 2 X-Wing fighters. One of them was Dave Filoni.
Yep.
That was pretty sick. And then the fight with the spider, I thought it was cool up until when the spider died. That was kind of lame. But everything like the chase running out of the ice caves as these giant spiders are chasing them and these waves of tiny spiders, and he starts just burning them all with his flamethrower. I thought that was a really cool scene.
Yoda ran to him like,
oh yeah, that was the thing we should probably bring up. We talked about this yesterday. Baby Yoda in this episode is so useless.
He has an appetite. Okay?
Yeah. In the
appetite
first
for destruction. If you get that reference, you're a G.
in the first season, he is amazing. The Mudhorn, the giant Inferno.
Hey, listen, I feel like it's different when it comes to spiders. Maybe it was like, oh no, Daddy thinking this for me.
Yeah, and then in this episode, he's like eating this frog lady's eggs, and then he eats a spider egg, and then he starts running away from all these spiders like a scared little baby, which he is, but he wasn't in the first season. I just thought that was a bit weird.
He is okay, so he's matured from baby to like rebellious toddler.
Yeah, he's in his terrible
children.
twos. He's in his terrible twos right now.
Yeah, I think that's been like what, maybe like a month.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
not even. I heard that between season 1 and 2 is like days. It's like a few days.
Okay, it's been like 2 weeks he's had with Baby Yoda. Maybe a month. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how long he's had this baby. Okay. This needs to be told. I don't know. I need to know this because I'm actually curious.
We've had more time with Baby Yoda than the Mandalorian has.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird to think about.
From the pop socket though.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Baby Yoda pop socket.
That's pretty sick.
See that.
Repping the merch.
Oh yeah, we are really giving Disney some big bucks.
We gave like $10. I mean, this wasn't Disney, but these were like $80.
Yeah. We're nerds. Anyways.
So yeah, and then another thing, the frog lady, they didn't really do much, but I really liked the effects. Most of it was practical, but then they also had some like the eyes and her galloping and leaping. But I think the effects on the frog lady made them look really real. Like that, I thought they were actually like a real person, not a human being, obviously, but like a real living thing there, and not like a movie creation.
Yeah.
I also want to know why Baby Yoda just really wanted those eggs really bad, because he was like drooling all over the bucket. It was funny, 'cause when they were eating the stuff at the campfire, he has a little plate, but he was just staring at the eggs, just like,
Here's the thing though, think of Empire Strikes Back, Yoda just like fiddling through Luke's food and just eating random like sausages out of his lunchbox. That's exactly what Baby Yoda's doing, just being a little gremlin, eating random food he finds.
At least it's not children, though, in adulthood in this case.
Well, he's matured from children eating food.
Yeah.
It's
he's
theft mode for Yoda species.
He's learned the mistake of his ways, and he's not eating kids.
Gorilla mode for Yoda species is just eating everything.
Gorilla mode?
Yes. They start throwing fits and just grabbing anything they can consume.
Because one thing that I wonder is Yoda's species, like I know it's unknown what species he is. Is it like a myth? Does anyone know about like Yoda being this unknown species? Is that a common thing? Or because I'm not sure about
I feel like since the only ones they knew of were Yaddle, Yoda, and Baby Yoda, no one really knew about Yoda during the like original trilogy besides like some of the surviving Jedi and stuff. And then now people know that there is some weird baby creature that is of an unnamed species. So I feel like it's very ambiguous, but it's a large galaxy, so people don't really know every single species.
Yeah, I was thinking in my head, I want the Mandalorian to name Baby Yoda, and I just thought of Yodonald.
Why?
Because Yaddle and Yoda both start with a Y, so you gotta have something.
Yodonald?
What about Yodi?
Okay, those are good. The Yodi.
Yoda. D-U-H.
Yoshi would be a bit copyright.
Yoshi.
Nintendo would be on them. they named him Yoshi.
Yo, mama.
What do you think is going to happen in the third episode, the next episode? Which
They're gonna go to the river.
They're going to
yeah.
the water area, and he's in a boat.
Yeah, in the
Baby Yoda.
trailer.
And they're gonna meet the frog lady's frog husband.
Mm-hmm. Hopefully,
And
what if he's like
hopefully, like they promised, gonna find the other Mandalorians that are supposed to be there. I
Yeah,
don't know why. I don't know.
What if the frog husband is a Mandalorian?
That would be awesome.
That would be
Yeah.
sick.
I would be so happy.
He's going around
Imagine
on a
a
jet.
frog.
That would
man.
make the season for me.
I don't
That
know if it would. I feel like he
would
might
make
be.
Yes. Are you telling me a frog?
It would be cool.
Mandalorian
It would be
isn't
cool, but it wouldn't make the season.
Make the season.
It's like, oh yeah, Boba Fett being alive, super sick Darksaber stuff. Frog guy.
Here's my question: what if the entire season is just him going to different places and not finding Mandalorians until episode 8 or episode 16, and then it's like, all right, that's season 2. Season 3 is when actual stuff happens.
I would hate that so much.
Yeah.
I'd like it for the first few. If it happens one more time, I'll be upset. Like if they just go, oh, I need to find Mandalorians, go to another planet to fight another thing, and then be like, all right, I need to keep searching. The first 2 episodes, okay, it's fine. But if they do it for the 3rd episode, they need help. Like I really like this show, and I don't want it to go that much in that direction, because that might just kind of ruin it for me.
Mhm.
Like there still needs to be some plot and substance to it, rather than just the monster of the week. Because obviously shows are like that and they work like that, but The Mandalorian isn't that type of show.
Yeah.
It's like a single man's journey that goes through these steps and fights these things, but he ends up with an actual plot structure
Yeah.
rather than just fighting monsters the whole time.
Yeah, I agree.
One of the questions that we rose in the first episode about season 2 is the returning characters. We already know Boba Fett, so we already confirmed that. Do you think that any of the other characters will return? Like we said, like Bo-Katan and Ahsoka
Sabine.
and Sabine.
Sabine.
We didn't. Oh yeah, we didn't say that.
Yeah,
We didn't say that in the first episode, but Sabine is my
Yeah.
next prediction.
Or just some random unknown person we've never met before. What if Baby Yoda saw a
Force
Ghost
Ghost
of Yoda? He's like,
Poggers.
Bro, this is back to like season
Dad?
1 where we were like, what if Baby Yoda becomes a Mandalorian and holds the Darksaber?
Okay.
What if Baby Yoda?
That's
no, I feel like this season's gonna roll around the Mandalorian, like offloading Baby Yoda, and then going like offloading to the Baby Yoda like a Jedi.
That'll probably be the episode 16 climax is giving Baby Yoda away.
I don't think so, because they set up the Darksaber in the first season. They're not gonna be like, okay, we're gonna wait till season 3 till we get to that part. They're gonna be like, episode 5. We find the person who's going to take Baby Yoda and raise him to be a god.
Which a lot of people are assuming he's gonna be like Luke or Ahsoka. But I don't know.
I wanna
It
see
might be Luke.
Sebastian
yeah.
Stan Luke.
Sebastian Stan
That
Luke
can
would be
happen.
sick.
That would be sick, yes.
Mhm.
Sebastian Stan Luke, we're gonna say that from now on. Maybe Ahsoka. At some point we see Sabine. That's
Yeah.
not related to Baby Yoda.
That's not related
Because
to Baby
Sabine
Yoda,
was the
just
last person to have the
characters.
Darksaber before Moff Gideon. Therefore,
She kind of does have to show up.
we can learn like what happened there and why did he get the Darksaber.
Yeah. So yeah, the things that are definitely going to happen this season. The Baby Yoda branch will be meeting some sort of Jedi or some sort of vision or some sort of conclusion that way. And honestly, I think that will end with like him trying to give Baby Yoda back, and it's going to be some big emotional thing where Baby Yoda's like, no, he wants to stay and he wants to come with them.
Yeah, I just feel like they can't keep Baby
I'll
Yoda
come and
there
visit
because
you,
then it's just
little
gonna be
guy.
season
Yeah.
1 times 2.
Yeah,
where it's
if they-
just Mandalorian protecting Baby Yoda for like the entire season, which is not bad. It's just I don't want to see that twice in
Just
a row.
want
Yeah.
a little bit more diversity.
I
Even
want-
though Baby Yoda is very precious.
Yeah. I just wanted to go in more depth of why the Mandalorian covens are so separated from what happened on Mandalore, the planet.
Oh, well, isn't it because of the Great Purge?
Well, yeah, but like there's still Mandalorians on there,
Yeah.
but they were like subjugated under Imperial
Yeah.
rule. So I want to know like why they were so like
Separated after that.
yeah.
So then, then that brings up to the second branch. Second branch will be the actual Mandalorian side with the Darksaber and Moff Gideon.
Which, to be honest, I'm more excited for that part than
Yeah,
Baby Yoda
honestly.
part. I mean, Baby Yoda is a
I think,
G,
I
like-
think the Baby Yoda part will be hype when they get to the climax Jedi part. The way there is going to be a bit like what's happening right now, kind of tedious.
I mean, because he's a baby. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how fast Yoda's species like
Progressive.
grows. Did they
Very slow.
shed their skin, become bigger, and just like
Yeah,
Yeah.
the crustaceans.
they molt.
they might be. We
They're
don't know.
not crustaceans.
You don't know
Yeah,
that.
but then the other side, I think that will be the more action
He
packed.
was eating frog eggs. He might be like
Oh
an
yeah. He needs the chitin.
aquatic animal.
Yeah. So
Never
then,
know.
yeah, and then the other side will be the more action-packed, faster paced, like Moff Gideon, big climax. I think that will be the end of the season, and I personally am more excited
I just
about that.
realized the Mandalorian, aka Jin, might go for the New Republic's help at the end of the season to help defeat Moff Gideon. Because I thought Moff Gideon didn't only have like all those troopers there; he had to have more people.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like even in the trailers, they've got scenes with like Star Destroyers in them, with like a bunch of stormtroopers running through. Not like the outside, like you're inside of a Star Destroyer.
Oh.
Yeah, like
So,
the hall.
Interesting.
We're gonna see the Imperial Remnant, which is cool. So I feel like he's gonna be like, "What if actually they'd steal Baby Yoda from him?" And he's like, "No." And just goes
Would
over
not
what
be
he says.
surprised.
Yeah, and then Luke and Ahsoka help them on the Star Destroyer, and there's a massive climax battle, episode 8, where they're fighting.
And Boba Fett's there too.
Oh yeah, Boba Fett's there too. We got like
Boba Fett single-handedly takes down an entire fleet of Star Destroyers.
and then all of a sudden, within like the 2 days that Baby Yoda's been taken, he's like grown to an adult Yoda.
Yeah,
just
2
starts-
years. Yeah. But yeah, so I think that sounds great, but if we come up with something like that and it doesn't happen, we're just gonna get disappointed. So
I feel like but
Mhm.
it's a possibility now that I think about it.
Yeah.
I'll be like,
because they're liking their callbacks already with like 2 episodes, they're doing a lot of callbacks
Yeah.
to like prior Star Wars stuff.
It's not like too like boom
Mhm.
cameo, boom reference. It's just like
Yeah.
a small like detail. It's like, oh, I remember that.
Mhm.
The member berries. I remember that.
Yeah, but like I mean, a lot of people dislike those member berry sort of things, where it's just callbacks to things like nostalgia.
Mm.
I like it though. Like I think in moderation, like you
there's
said.
so much stuff in
Yeah.
Star Wars. It's kind of hard not to just do that. Because if you don't, it's kind of like not doing a disservice because
Yeah.
of how much work other people have put into this franchise. There's like what, like easily millions of different things that have been written that are canonical.
Mhm.
It's crazy.
A cool thing to me was they're not just like referencing back to the original trilogy. They reference the prequels with Anakin's pod racer. They reference Rebels with the spiders.
They reference books with the Marshal.
Yeah, so it's like Mr. Filoni is taking great care. The Filonious
The
one
felonious one.
is taking great care to include all types of Star Wars.
That would.
I feel like they might do something with Baby Yoda that's like his own, like Baby Yoda alone, like Zuko alone from Avatar,
I
which
think
is
we're just
Baby-
saying random stuff and then hoping that in the future one of these crazy things are gonna come true. We'll be like, we predicted that. We
Yeah.
predicted that.
We're the
Yeah.
Simpsons 2.0. We predict
Yeah.
everything for Star Wars.
Reviews for like just straight up like number reviews for the first episode. Out of 10, what would you guys give it?
9.
Sure, yeah, 9.
I think either like an 8.5 or a 9. Like I really liked it. Like 8.5 it obviously isn't bad, but like I think it leaves places to grow from. But it also I think it left too much of the first season like in the dust. Like Cara Dune and Moff Gideon, Grief Karga. Yeah, those are like just they're sidelined and they're not even mentioned in the first 2 episodes, even though they were major parts of the first season.
Yeah.
So I think that's where it could have improved on in the first episode. But I think second episode, what would you guys give it out of 10?
7 out of 10. I felt like there was just a lot of parts that could have just cut down. I kind of got a little bit bored in the middle. It's still a good episode, but I feel like it was a little bit repetitive, and
Yeah.
that's it. But there were some cool New Republic stuff in there, and that's the only like new thing I was excited to see and learn
Which
about.
was just X-Wings.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it was
the
like
felonious one.
yeah. I thought the New Republic stuff was interesting because it kind of showed like a little window into the time between the end of Return of the Jedi and how the First Order came into power, and it was just like a very interesting way to see how the New Republic functions.
Yeah. I think I don't know if I'd give it a 7 out of 10. Probably like I like using the 0.5s because I'm very in between with the first 2 episodes. So probably like a 7.5 because it's a significant drop down from the first episode in my opinion, but it still leaves room to go to. Like they obviously have a goal at the end of the second episode to get to this planet to deliver the Frog Lady. So we have a obvious goal, an obvious path of where it's going to go. But what you said, it's very repetitive. Like he's fighting small spiders, then he's fighting medium spiders, then giant spider, then the X-Wings come and kill giant spider, and then there's tiny spiders that he burns up again, and it's like there's too many spiders for my liking in one episode, so I think like 7.5. Obviously like a point down from the first episode.
I will go to an 8.
Yeah, I mean
I still liked it a lot, and I went into understanding they were setting up the next episode, so they just kind of had to do the filler in there, which was the spiders. And it's kind of funny that Baby Yoda was a muncher.
He liked eating the Frog Lady's eggs, which weirded me out a bit, but
I mean, they looked kind of good. He was like,
I don't know about that.
they were big eggs too, and he like one gulped every single one. Like they were really like that big. It was like your child eating a handle of something.
No, it's like those videos of astronauts like with balls of water, like.
Like, does Baby Yoda even have teeth?
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Yeah, like one time he was was scared or something, and he showed his teeth. It was like, oh, the baby Yoda got baby teeth.
Basically, averaging out the scores we gave it, first episode like an 8.75.
Yep.
Second episode 7.5. It's a good start for the season in general. Few slow parts, few things to grow on, and a few things to look forward to. But I think the rest of the season is in a good spot after those few episodes.
I am hopeful for the next.
Mm-hmm. It's a slow start in quotes because I can obviously see that it's going to be a really good show still.
Yes.
But still some things to improve on. That's why I like 7.
Very similar to the first season. Its first 2 episodes. So like the first episode of the first season was him doing his bounty and finding
Yeah.
the one.
Oh, Finding Baby Yoda.
Yeah. And then the second one was the egg.
Yes.
Where you fought
And then
the
the
one.
third episode was the cool one with all the Mandalorians. So,
So that's what's gonna happen.
three,
Yeah, that's what happened in
it's gonna
episode 3.
be epic.
Yeah, and then I think with future Mandalorian episodes, if we ever review them, I think they're just gonna be part of whatever review we do. So like if we do an episode next weekend, we'll just have a mini segment talking about episode 3 briefly, and then the end. I'm getting my lightsaber out for the ending. Thank you. See you in the next one. Okay.